Here comes the Nastygram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is the Boston Masquerade, Chapter 15, Follow That Possum.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic.
Hey, this is Jake, and I'm going to be your storyteller.
And this is Matt playing Javi Morales, the Ventru Cleaner.
Hey everyone, this is Dan playing Quintus Lazar, the Tremere Blood Doctor.
Hey guys, it's John. I'm playing Z, the Bruja Hacker.
Hi, this is Ryan. I'll be Ethan Crane, the Trust Fund Ventru.
This is Josh playing Larry Murphy, Nosferatu Creep, Papa of Opossum, having a family crisis for not the first time in his life.
Ryan, do you think Ethan's ever visited the Titanic?
Just walked down there.
Woof.
And in the snack shack.
Coming out hot.
Yeah. Yeah, post-vampire. So, once the sub imploded, he just kind of floated up eventually. Yeah.
So many good memes. Sorry, Snack Shack.
Hey, it's okay. Hey, it's Devin. And if you want to blow a bigger bubble with your bubble gum, chew it until all the sweetness is gone. Sugar actually causes bubbles to break earlier.
Snack Fact Shack.
There's a snack fact for you.
Good to know.
I don't want to take too much time, but I opened up one of those big bags of Starburst, and
Jesus Christ.
Oh God, here we
What's
go.
the ratio?
that's the game. I want everyone over the course of tonight to write down your guess for red, yellow, pink, and orange, and at the end of the night, so the winner gets a prize.
Are we trying to confirm that red is the...
We're talking about percentage found?
I'll tell you this: there are 91 Starburst.
All right, game's off. We're coming.
That's it.
And I've already taken some, so don't even think about it, Dan. You're not going to get a good count.
All right, play that music. Let's vamp it up.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
I got one thing. We have a listener interjection.
Oh boy, do we.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, do we.
We were called out on Facebook by our lovely listener from the UK,
Oh, God.
Olivia,
Yep.
because apparently somebody said twat.
Wait, they said what?
Who said twat?
I don't know.
You mean,
Or maybe it was in the...
Oh, because it's twat.
it's
Twat.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was a little back and forth. Dan is our official UK ambassador and ambiguous accent man of mystery of Europe.
Right?
Dan wears a black
Who
armband
said
on
it?
July 4th.
Who said it? I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
wore all black yesterday.
Yeah.
In mourning.
It's a somber day
Yeah.
for Dan.
Yesterday was July
July
4th.
4th.
Yep.
For the record. But Olivia was kind enough to write and then on request record and send in a limerick to help all the Americans with a proper pronunciation. Snack Shack, if you could, please fire that file up.
Hello, boys and girls. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. There was a sexy young vampire called Cat, whose ghoul was a bloodthirsty bat. From the ceiling she hangs, filming 4 only fangs, as her ghoul feasts and dines on her twat.
Amazing.
There
Amazing.
once was a vampire named Pat, whose ghoul was a cute furry bat. Imagine her dismay when upon feeding day, her ghoul bit her hard on the twat.
There we go. Round of applause. Thank you very much. That's the kind of listener engagement we're looking for.
We love it.
It's dedication.
Limericks.
We don't need any fan art. We just need fan limericks.
You can run your game now, Jake.
I can't. No.
Nope.
Not after
You can't
that.
top that.
That was great. All right, let's do it.
Eat up, Johnny. We're gonna need our strength tonight. I didn't think it would all come to this, but what's left of our coterie, our family, we'll go out tonight, try to make deals that will end the reign of Fiona. In the aftermath of Z telling her about Mr. Boyle, we ran out of options. I was so mad when he said that, and I know I scared you, Johnny. That blood of the lupine was in me, and as Quintus says, blood holds great powers. In the end, I won't stay angry at Z. I think that all he has left is anger. Maybe someday he'll find a way to accept this existence, but for now, he's gone back to the Anarchs. And I am upset, Mr. Boyle, Johnny, for what he's done, for what he set in motion, the dangers he unleashed. But I'm also starting to see that maybe he was right in one thing. Fiona's time must come to an end. Predator cannot grow ever more powerful. There has to be a balance. Perhaps she is so strong in her control, she's made all of us weaker. No matter how this goes, Boston is going to change. Come along, Johnny. Our amigo Javi is waiting.
White Pines Mall, December 4th, 1998. We see a window display filled with Furbies. Their eyes move to the side, and their mouths open and close as they coo at passing shoppers.
From the Journal of Silas Keene, we often hear about the unrelenting appetite of the kindred. Wherever they go, they seem to leave ruin in their wake.
We see Lydia in a simple black dress and petticoat. She looks through the window at the toys, and they begin to twitch sporadically. Their gentle cooing turns to a high-pitched machine cry. She smiles.
But their thirst for blood is only a small part of that appetite. Their predatory nature goes much deeper than that hunger.
We see a large man step up to the glass next to her. His head is covered by a dark hoodie. Lydia continues to watch the toys spin and whimper like prey animals. In the reflection of the glass, we see Mr. Boyle.
Within every one of those monsters is a bestial need to claim their own personal territory, their hunting ground.
Boyle and Lydia begin to speak without turning to face each other. The toys begin falling over, wisps of smoke pushing out of them as they enter their final death throes.
Perhaps it is a longing for something missing from their soul, a feeling of being incomplete that pushes them to always want more.
Their business concludes, and the two turn to each other. Boyle reaches out a large, calloused hand, Lydia an elegant black glove. They shake, then turn and walk away. In the window, we see the ruined toys, silent and still.
It is that endless struggle for power that leaves nothing but ruin for those unfortunate enough to be in their wake.
November 7th, 7:30 p.m. White Pines Mall. On the third floor balcony, looking over the food court, we see Ethan and Quintus. Across from them on the opposite balcony, we see Jackal, Mary, and Z. The two groups walk towards each other. Through the broken glass of the skylights above them, we see the night sky as a cold wind blows through the abandoned mall. Meanwhile, the same cold wind blows into a construction site at an unfinished building. We see Larry and Javier looking out over the city. Around them, we see stacks of building material and the silhouettes of excavation equipment in the distance. Below them, several cars pull into the dirt parking area. 3 men exit vehicles and make their way up the steps to them. Sean Clark, Leonidas Turst, and Harrison Geller. When all 5 men are together, another figure steps out from behind an unfinished wall. Mr. Boyle. We're going to start at the mall. Ethan and Quintus look across the balcony at the other end of the mall. You're on the 3rd floor, up, open concept so you can see all the floors below you. But across from you, you see Jackal, Mary, and Z. And you all start approaching each other. Z.
Yep.
Flashback about 30 minutes when you and the other anarchs arrived. Suspicious that there's always a chance of an ambush. You spread out and started searching the mall. As you were searching the parking garage, you had a premonition. You saw a limousine parked in the garage, engine running. A man sitting in the driver's seat, tapping his hand as if he was waiting. You recognize that man. He's a ghoul. His name is Trent.
Fuck.
But here you are, the 5 of you.
Yep.
Walk out onto this sort of bridge that connects the 2 sides of the mall. Mary has that baseball bat at her side. Jackal doesn't have any sort of weapons. He's kind of standing behind the 2 of you. And what do you guys do?
Goodness. Ethan?
It is good to see you, Z. You are well?
Yeah, as well as I can be. How about you?
Yes, I am busy these days. He kind of adjusts his glasses. You know my work.
Business going well?
It is vexing, I will say.
And Ethan?
It's yeah. That's why I work for myself usually.
I am working for all of us. Ethan.
You are, yes.
But to the business at hand, no?
Mary nods. Didn't expect to see the 2 of you back here so quickly.
Things are changing in Boston.
We've heard a bit. We know about the virus.
Quintus kind of nods his head.
How bad is it? How out of control?
It is relatively contained at the moment, but with these things, it is hard to understand how it evolves, how it mutates within humans, and ultimately we know the effects it has on kindred. But Quintus shrugs his shoulders.
But you said the spread would be slow. I mean, the transmission is very specific. It's not airborne. It's one-sided.
For the time being.
Yeah.
And Quintus and his team are working very hard, doing everything they can to keep it that way.
Mary says, we heard it's transmitted through ghouls. Is that true?
It could be. It does depend on a number of circumstances, but...
Jackal says, if I may, that's not why we're here, right?
That is correct. We need to deal with something more urgent, but it is because of this virus. The prince, as you know, is perhaps he has filled you in, is infected, and it is a matter of time before the hunger consumes her and creates a untenable situation in our city.
Yeah, I mean, with Sergei, we were able to get to him, and maybe even that he was able to snap himself out of it long enough to put himself into torpor, but Fiona, who the hell knows? She's going to grab a battle axe and chop everyone's head off in a 50-mile radius, you know?
Mary says hunger frenzies are some of the worst.
Yeah.
And again, our primary goal is to prevent that from happening. And I guess that's where you come in.
What do you want from us?
We need your help.
What are you trying to do?
We're trying to end this.
We are trying to contain the prince.
We have another negotiating. Essentially, once we get the okay, we're going to take care of her.
You're going to kill the queen.
We're going to try.
She smiles. I think we can talk. Meanwhile, the Primogen make their way up these unfinished stairs to the top of this open, unfinished skyscraper, looking out over the lights of Boston. The wind is kind of howling through here. Sean Clark and Leonidas, who we've seen quite often in this game, in their signature Javi suits. And then Harrison Geller, who I believe this is actually the first time we've had him be present.
I think you had him in one of your intros.
In an intro, yeah. He's just wearing kind of like a windbreaker and jeans. He's a very normal looking guy. And As they approach the two of you, Mr. Boyle steps out of the shadows. I think Larry is the only one that knew Mr. Boyle would be here. You told him where the meeting would be. Or perhaps he suggested the location. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The three of them look a little surprised for a moment. Harrison laughs. 4 out of 5.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Boyle.
Of course, Larry.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Turst, Mr. Clark, Mr. Geller.
Clark says, Mr. Boyle, you are a hard man to find right now, and Prince is trying to find you. I must say, she might be mad at us just for being in your presence and not informing her. She hasn't officially declared a blood hunt, but that's only because she would need our backing.
Well, I'm thankful we all made it here safe. Given the state of things.
Clark says, I think I've got a pretty good idea of why we're here. But let's hear it. Javier, you're up to something.
You know me, I mostly like to make sure the problems, they stay clean. And I dare say that this is not going to be very clean. As you all know, this virus that affects Fiona, its progression is going to be soon to end. Comprende?
They all sort of nod.
I know I wasn't on the front lines with all of you when we took this city. I was cleaning. But I've heard the stories. I've seen the messes from her. And, well, if it's anything like the mess that Sergei left, it's not going to be just a building.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time we talked. Problem is, well, Mr. Boyle, you've seen her in action, right? I'd say you're the only one here who really has. Let me ask you something. If she was up here right now in this tower with us, and she frenzied.
Mr. Boyle cracks a little smile. Says, you would all be seen as food. The next meal, perhaps enough to sate her. But she would not stop. What do you propose we do? I'm glad to help in any way that I can.
It would be the least you could do, huh?
He looks at you and then he looks at Larry.
Larry takes a half step forward. And he says, at the last Elysium, we discussed the fate of Sergei. Mr. Boyle, you pushed me to speak. And I said that when an animal is sickened, rabid in a way that threatens the rest of the pack, threatens its environment, that the only humane thing to do and the only wise thing to do for the safety of all is to put down that creature. The prince is sick, and we are all at risk, not just us as individuals, but as kindred, as the Camarilla, as our existence.
Mr. Boyle's picking at his chin, nodding, and he looks over to the Primogen. What do you think, gentlemen?
Geller says, we're talking about regicide. And he smiles. That is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about killing the queen.
We're talking about the queen killing us.
Larry looks back to Javi.
See? It is not a decision that I think any of us should take lightly, huh? But I think with everything that's at stake here, a decision needs to be made. Since you are all the next in line, it would only be right if you...
Meanwhile, at the mall, Mary says, So, you're looking for an army?
We're more looking for a distraction.
Okay.
We need someone to keep the authorities at bay. Keep them out of the tower.
She does have a lot of little eyes out there, doesn't she? Little men in blue. She's got a lot more control over them than you might realize. That's why we're still out here.
Well, this goes to plan, things will change.
The priority would be that at the moment of choosing, that you are able to create some sort of distraction, one that keeps the police away from the tower. It would obviously have to be coordinated and enough to draw her resources, thin them, if you will.
Jackal says, you're asking us to bring a bunch of our people into Boston and to fight the police, to engage directly with them? What, do you want us to start some sort of riot?
It does sound very much like what an anarch would do.
They both kind of chuckle.
However you want to get their attention is fine with us.
What do you think of this, Z?
I know they have the means to do it.
Really?
To kill her.
Really?
For good. They're not fucking around. We're not fucking around. And if we do it smart, if we can do it timely, she'll be out of everyone's hair.
Jackal says, and if we say no, me and Mary, you going to do this anyway?
Well, I mean...
No, not you. You. He looks at Z.
Yeah. Yeah, I owe it to him at least.
Okay. Back to the construction site. Leonidas says, Larry, I'm glad that you brought up Sergei. What happened to him? I actually feel that Fiona showed great wisdom in her decision. She could have just killed him, removed the problem, been done with it. But instead, she decided to stake him, to put him into torpor until a cure could be found. Don't we owe her the same?
Larry hesitantly kind of looks towards Javi, looks towards Mr. Boyle.
Boyle has an eyebrow raised and is looking at the gentleman and the other primogen and how they're hearing this.
There's two reasons that course of action might not work. The reality is that Sergei was already rendered inert. He was in torpor. We had the safety of making this decision with no risk. Fiona is far more dangerous than Sergei and is unbound.
Geller nods. He says it's true. None of us would get close enough to put a stake in her. And we could send a dozen at her and we might take her down, but there would be there'd be a lot of collateral damage.
The only methods...
Leonidas says, I could help. There is a Tremere ritual where a stake can be enchanted. Any strike with this weapon that pierces flesh, and the wood will break off and make its way to the heart. I can make this weapon. You would still need to hit her with it, but it wouldn't need to puncture her chest. It wouldn't need to break into the heart. The work would be done by the magic. Clark says, that's interesting. You've been holding out on me.
The other question, the other issue is why we're in this situation at all. Larry's looking down now, kind of at the ground in the center of the group, deliberately not looking towards Mr. Boyle or anyone else to betray himself. The question of whether the prince should still rule, with or without this. My coterie and I were placed in a situation, if you all know, or you don't, about what happened at the Encore Hotel. We were sent to follow up on something Alexander Wamsutta had discovered. The thought was that it was first light. The reality was it was not. It was a mortal affair, but those responsible had the means and the desire to kill hundreds. Discovering this, the prince ordered us to do nothing and to leave. I have not been of this existence as long as any of you, but I've seen enough to know that there is an end to this path for each of us, where what we once were will be completely gone. But we cannot exist in that way. There's things I don't understand completely, the beckoning and others, but if a ruler is too far down that path, they can't serve us and protect us if we will continue to exist in this world.
Harrison Geller, the Malkavian Primogen, he says, one of my clan, she sees what the future holds. She says there's dark days ahead. She says that she compares it to Nostradamus' prediction of the tower falling. That tower's falling. I guess we need to decide which direction it falls. And then he says, Leonidas, your church is right in its shadow. Wouldn't want it falling on you, would you? Terse says, I agree that something must be done. Perhaps what needs to be done is that she needs to be replaced, but I do think that we owe it to her to try to find a way to keep her alive. We can remove her from power. We can replace her. If we all here agree to a replacement, we have the means to do that. I agree something must be done.
Larry kind of looks up at Javi and kind of gives a little grimace, like he's already said more than he intended, and kind of plaintively nods towards Javi to step in.
Javi will take a step forward. See, I don't disagree. I think everything she has done for this city is kept us safe, kept us happy for the most part, allowed us to feed, to do everything we need, to help us take it from the Sabah. But I think you are missing one key fact here, is time. We are running out. It's been... How long has it been? Like
4 days.
Yeah. No, like since we found out she was infected.
Oh, a couple months.
Couple months. It's already been 2 months, maybe more, that she's been infected. Sergey, maybe the same amount of time. And that was already a few weeks ago. How much time she have left? I don't think any of us can say.
Sean Clark says days. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the research. I've seen the reports that that your friend got from the First Light computers. She's got days.
So we had less. Mr. Clark, you have the Quintus now in the research. How long before you can make a breakthrough on a cure? Huh?
Not days. Maybe a week, 2, if we're lucky. Things are moving the right way.
Boyle looks at Leonidas. If we had known sooner, perhaps she would see reason. In the state she is in now, he just shakes his head. She might be beyond hearing a more humane approach.
Clark says, so what do we do? What's the plan?
Jake, you've described this scene. We haven't seen Indian any explicit indication that they know what Mr. Boyle's involvement is.
They're all pretty smart and pretty well connected. They know the chain of events, right? Which is, we learned that there was a disease. We learned that Fiona got the disease. Mr. Boyle went into hiding and Fiona is looking for him.
Okay. So we put the pieces together, but nobody is being...
No one has said it outright.
Got it.
So Clark said, what's the plan? What do we do next? And then we'll go back to the mall.
Jake, is it dark and shadowy where we are?
There's the only light coming in is the moonlight from the broken skylights above.
There's no power in this mall?
There is, because the Anarchs use this mall for gatherings pretty often. So there could be some lights on if you wanted there to be, like some of the stores, maybe like the store windows might have like lights on, you know.
Z's like, he kind of gets it in his head.
It's kind of the Anarch, like it's your like home turf, so it's up to you.
He kind of walks over to one of the stores nearby and starts turning lights on.
Hot topic.
Definitely hot topic. And tries to light up this little bridge as much as possible.
Okay.
In the surrounding area.
Okay. You kind of walk off and start doing that after saying like, yeah, you're in either way.
I'm looking for her.
Nice. Mary turns towards the Camarilla vampires and she says, I'm not gonna lie, I love the idea of Fiona getting what's been long coming. But I'm not about to prance into that tower with my baseball bat and try to make it happen myself. I'm not that stupid.
We are not asking you to. We only want the distraction from your people.
So we come in, we make a distraction, we keep the police busy, and what exactly are you going to do? Sell me on this. Convince me that you can actually make it happen.
Z catches back up. Lights are now kind of on around you guys. He says, maybe we don't go over the specifics here, Mary.
Is there a problem, Z?
You think we're being watched?
I got a feeling.
Fair enough. We can skip the specifics for now, but I'm going to want a war council before we make this happen.
I turn on my heightened senses.
I'm going to want to know what you're bringing to the table first, but after that, I want to meet with everyone involved. I want to meet all your primogen, you, the rest of your coterie, and I want to know exactly how this is going to go down. We don't have to talk about it here and now, but what are you offering us?
All right. I like this. Quick and to the point.
What was your name?
I think of
Crane.
Ethan. Yeah. I think a lot of your folks remember my name. Unfortunately,
scrawled on their like grudge list.
Yeah, we've seen your little signs.
Yeah. You can come back in the city. You'll have a place there. You have a place at the table. Two representatives with the same power as Camarilla Primogen. The only thing we're going to ask is that you follow the Masquerade. You're not subject to any other Camarilla laws, rules, regulations, but you're also not under the protection of the Camarilla.
Jackal says, we can't force anyone to follow the Masquerade. What happens if they don't?
Then your representatives are going to have to talk to the Primogen. It'll go to a council, but you'll have a voice.
Mary says, we've all seen how Fiona deals with Masquerade breaches. ruthlessly.
Well, then you should choose wisely who sits on the council, because,
And who replaces Fiona?
again, that's for you to help decide.
Jackal says, so we'd have a vote in that. 2.
It's my understanding.
I would reiterate something for you. You are concerned with the Masquerade and its breach. The reason that we must take down Fiona is to protect that Masquerade. And the reason that we do this is because humanity is not ready for vampires. It is coming. I will grant that. It is inevitable. But we need more time.
Jackal smiles and says to Yuzi, it's inevitable. I like this guy. He sees the writing on the wall, right?
He's a scientist.
You know the way technology is going and all of this stuff. We're not hiding in the shadows for much longer.
Our days are numbered. But it's whether we control those days or not.
They're right. Our days will be more numbered if the first light comes crashing down on Boston because one of our assholes decides to feed in the broad open, you know?
Mary says, and your Primogen have agreed to this? And whoever they make prince has agreed to this?
The ground rules, yes. The tangentials, I do not know. I cannot speak for them.
Let's just say there's a framework in place.
Meanwhile, Javier, I believe you were just about to tell them what they can do.
So I am flattered that you think I have all the answers for you. That is honestly very nice to hear, but I think getting your approval first was, our main concern. We don't want to do too much without your say-so.
Geller says, we can get every kindred in the city together. I still don't see how we take her out. She's powerful and she's well protected up in her tower. Getting in there is very hard. Never mind the police.
See, that's very true. I think the last week or so, I may have come across something that could help. I don't know what it's going to cost, but it could be a lot. The anarchs in the north.
Clark says, there it is. You went and saw them, didn't you?
Well, there was one that Fiona assigned to this coterie that has some knowledge of them.
Caitiff. He says, I knew it.
See, it was her decision. It's not like we could say anything about it.
And she knows?
I don't know. I don't know what she knows. Knowing her, I would say, see.
So what do we need the anarchs for?
Muscle is what we're lacking here, huh? We got a lot of the brain power in this city, but the brawn, well, they moved out a long time ago.
You think they can be controlled?
Absolutely not. But
pointed in the right direction?
I think so.
What do you think, Larry? What do you think of these anarchs?
They're dangerous. They're a mob.
See?
They lack a vision.
See?
But their problems with the Camarilla are not without truth behind them. They didn't, for the most part, choose to become what they are. They didn't pick their sires, their heritage. They are part of this existence, and with the exception of a couple, they had no choice in being cast out of the city, the existence they're in now. What we would offer is those that could follow the basic rule, the most essential, a path back into the family. We discussed it. The The gangrel and the bruja, they were part of the Camarilla. Even when I was embraced, they fought for this city. They shed blood, and actions were taken on both sides that have led them out. It shouldn't curse all their lines forever. Those that can follow the masquerade could be allowed back in, and a representative to sit at your council with an equal voice, if not the same title.
See, but let's not kid ourselves, Larry. Some of them, they're going to cause problems. But, if they're not going to play by some of the rules, they won't apply to them, huh? The courtesy that the Camarilla can provide?
Leonidas says, protection, you mean? They won't be allowed protection should they cross another kindred.
See?
I assume that these representatives would be Alexander Wamsutta and Mary the Black. You would put them on our council.
I don't think that's a decision for us to make. I think that's a decision for them to make. But Alexander has been here for a long time now, huh? So it makes sense.
Geller says there were some of us that argued he should have gotten a seat as Primogen when we took the city. When his clan left the city. He's always been loyal. And he was instrumental in taking the city. He's been done an injustice by not having a seat this whole time. Geller says, I've always supported Wamsutta, and I still do. And if I have to deal with Mary ranting about what representation, taxes, whatever it is, we can deal with that again.
Who knows? Might not even be her.
Clark says, and what are they going to do?
What they're good at. Harassment. Chaos. Who takes care of that? That's her foot soldiers, huh?
Tur says they could handle the police, clear a path to the tower. That still leaves the problem of getting in.
I say good ideas, Monsieur Thirst.
Boyle steps up. This is where I may be of service, gentlemen. Fiona has not been difficult to track entering and leaving the tower. I'm sure Leonidas could have seen it from his window. What I can do is make it possible for the main power of the building to black out for a certain time. It might give you a chance to move in the shadows. He looks at Larry. If getting to her is the biggest obstacle, that is where I may contribute.
Clark says we'll need to hash out the details of this plan and this agreement with the Anarchs in detail. Gentlemen, I suggest a full Elysium. We invite everyone, including the Toreador. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it by the book, which means we declare a vote, Praxis Caesar. We replace Fiona. Then we declare a blood hunt on her.
Okay.
But I want the whole city to agree to this. So you pick a time and a place. Well, you pick a place. And we do it as soon as sun sets tomorrow. We go through the whole process. We elect a new prince. And then as soon as we're done, you roll your anarchs out. And we finish this.
See? This is why we brought it to you. You're the ones that can shape the plans into what they need to be.
I want to make it clear, though, Javi, you're taking point on this. Your coterie. This is your idea. You're seeing it through.
Hijo de puta. Okay. Gracias.
We hold Elysium tomorrow as soon as the sun goes down. You pick the spot and you let us know. We'll let the rest of the city in on it. And then we'll declare a blood hunt on Fiona. As he says that, you see Harrison look up to the sky. And then a moment later, you hear helicopter and spotlights hit the building. You see blue lights start turning on all around the perimeter of this construction site.
No good.
Meanwhile,
Boyle's already
at the
gone.
mall, the same thing happens. A helicopter is suddenly above that skylight, this spotlight shining down on all of you. And then you start hearing shouting. You look down the corridors to your left and right of this mall, and you see the lights of gun lights as police officers start raiding the mall.
Oh my God.
You ready there, combat machine?
Oh, yeah.
Ethan, Quintus, and Z. The five of you are standing on this bridge, and gunfire erupts from the ends of the hall. It's too far away to make any impact, but it starts ricocheting off of railings. Jackal turns towards Ethan and says, "It's a fucking setup."
What the fuck do you guys do? I start running away from the gunfire.
This is not us. It must be the prince.
How the fuck did you hear about this?
Quintus is running.
You all run off of that bridge, and probably there's like an open store. You kind of take cover in there. That helicopter is still above, kind of shining its lights down. And you see that on both ends of the mall, there's troops, there's police officers making their way towards. Mary grabs, we'll say Ethan. She grabs you. She picks you up. She's way stronger than her frail Lisa Bonet frame appears to be. And she says, "If this is not a trap, then get us the fuck out of here. Maybe if we survive, we can talk.
Well,
This bitch doesn't send SWAT teams after me."
I mean, the Hummer's still in the shop, but I guess there's room for all of us in the Porsche. Let's fucking go.
We got to get to the parking garage.
Jackal says, "The parking garage? What the fuck?
Yeah, just trust me.
We didn't park in the parking garage."
Let's go.
Cut to the building. Geller is the first one. He laughs. "Is this a setup? Are you working for her?" Someone tipped her off.
No, maybe it's Mr. Boyle. She's been looking for him. Maybe he gave something away. And hell, Javi's going to look around for Boyle.
Geller says, "I look forward to hearing about this Elysium, if it's still a thing, if you survive." And then he disappears.
Geller does?
Yeah. Tursk says, "I trust you all have a way out of here. I'll see you tomorrow at sunset." And he jumps off of the building and falls and out of view. Those
Boyle
fuckers
is-
from here can fly.
Yep.
Boyle is already gone. You look around, he's not there.
Not yet. You gotta.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Fine.
So Larry, Javier, Clark, and Boyle are still there. Clark says, "Javi, it's not gonna look good if we get arrested.
See, we got to go.
I can't fucking fly or turn invisible like those motherfuckers. So get me out of here."
I know, Theo. Follow me. Come on. Javi's going to break towards the stairwell.
You break towards the stairwell and you realize that this construction site is it has this big chain link fence around it to stop people from stealing shit. There's one gate that is currently open where you drove all your cars into, and you see that there's a bunch of police cars pulling into that parking lot down there. So your cars are basically lost at this point.
Oh, the Murphy Animal Control van?
Yep.
Getting impounded.
I hope you didn't leave Johnny in there.
Johnny's
You stop at that stairwell and you look down and you're like, okay, not going that way.
We need to get down.
Larry, I can trust the tunnels, huh?
Larry, go to the Boston Public Library. On First Street, you'll find a sewer grate. Down there, you can find your way to the Charles Street, to Kin. Go.
First Street's very close to here. It is on the other side of that perimeter fence. But you know the direction he's talking of.
Does Boyle have celerity?
He does.
He fucking dashes off
And
into
then
the darkness.
disappears.
Theo,
Leaving the three of you there.
You're gonna need a new pair of shoes after this. New suit's gonna be on me.
He laughs, and then a bullet hits him in the shoulder. He looks at it, and he goes, fuck, I am.
Vámonos, Larry.
It doesn't look like it did a lot of damage to him. Those Ventru have fortitude and all. But you realize that they are shooting at you from the helicopter.
Ooh.
Gross.
We need to get down away from here.
You first?
Yes.
Z, the
Yeah.
parking garage is in the basement. You're on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
There's police approaching from both directions. A quick look, and you spot there's definitely lights on every level. You're not sure. You don't get a good count. But you need to get down to the ground floor and then take the stairs into the basement to get to the parking garage.
Is the center open?
The center is open, yeah. What are you guys doing?
Quintus is going to activate his heightened senses.
Okay. There is a helicopter kind of hovering above that opening, so it is really loud.
Okay.
You can still do it, but your ability to hear will kind of
Be hindered
be
by
hindered. Yeah.
I think he'll do it anyways because as they flee from the scene, he wants to be kind of more aware of people moving through the building towards them.
Okay, cool. Ryan, anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna activate my Defy Bane.
What does that do?
That lets me essentially convert aggravated damage to normal damage.
Jackal says, fuck it. You say parking garage it is.
Let's go down the middle. Fastest way down.
Which is?
Jumping out into the middle of the
Jump off the third
floor. Yeah.
floor of the mall.
All right.
Nice.
We're vampires, right?
Uh-huh.
Blade landing?
Yeah.
Is that why you
60
grabbed the book? Or are you looking up falling
Yeah.
damage?
No, I was looking at Blink.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you jump?
Z, he says,
Hey, you jump, I jump.
"You guys go." I'll,
Is that Point Break? No. What is that?
I don't remember what that
he
is.
says, "You guys go. I'll distract them on the other side."
I think that's Titanic.
Distract them? Okay.
I will blink across the hallway to the other stores on the
Okay.
other end and start opening fire on them so they turn their head towards me while they jump off.
Tell me how Blink works.
I can move up to 50. So I got to rouse first. I fail. That's fine. The vampire moves in a straight line towards the target, covering any distance under 50 meters while still having enough time to perform an action, such as an attack, during the turn. If the terrain is in any way hazardous, the character needs to make a dexterity and athletics roll to avoid stumbling or coming to a halt on the way. The storyteller may call for other contests as desired, especially if the vampire races a distant foe to an object or an
Okay,
action.
cool. All right, I like it. So you dash across that bridge that connects the two sides so fast that you're barely visible, and you get into the archway of a Spencer's gift shop on the opposite side.
yeah.
And you start firing downrange towards one of these groups.
Yep.
Give me a firearms and composure roll. You're not trying to do damage. This is kind of just to lay covering fire. If you get 3 successes, then they won't get shot at.
Okay.
And meanwhile, if you guys are jumping off of this thing, is that the plan?
I got 4 successes.
Perfect.
I'm confident in my ability to do that. I'm looking at Quintus.
Quintus looks over the edge of the balcony. How far down is it?
3-story. I mean, think of like
Hard pass.
Think of like the mall,
Hard pass.
the Providence Mall, right? Like
Yep.
when you're on the top
3rd
level,
floor.
looking down to
Yeah.
the bottom.
Quintus is not doing that.
Yeah. Like 40 feet
So
minimum.
keep in mind, as a vampire, you will have that damage.
Yeah, I don't think he's really got that part of it down
How much
yet.
aggravated damage do you have left?
I was able to heal all of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
Yep.
Oh, does that mean I got to heal mine?
We'll say you have 1 still.
Oh, actually, so quick bookkeeping.
Cool.
I haven't updated my sheet.
So if it's been a week, I'm assuming like the werewolf blood is gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Are we at one? Sorry,
yeah,
at one hunger.
We'll say you're at 1 hunger. Yeah.
I don't think Quintus quite has the faith yet that he won't break his neck if he jumps off the edge.
I like that. I mean, tell you what, if you want to do it, I would say that it would be a resolve and composure, a willpower check to like muster the courage to do it. So Ryan, why don't you give me a willpower check? Add your fortitude because you kind of know you can do it. Yeah. So resolve, composure plus fortitude. Dan, don't even roll if you're not going to do it. It's fine. Like
if he does
choice.
it, he does it, I'll roll.
Rouse some blood into your fucking ball sack.
Yeah,
Quintus.
come on now.
Oh my dice.
6 successes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm fucking stoked.
Okay. Okay. Now give me a roll of stamina and athletics to stick that landing.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and ask. Would this? I have a CrossFit specialty. Would this, if anything?
Fuck you! It's so CrossFit.
Yeah, it is very CrossFit.
Go for it.
But you have to tell everybody about this afterwards.
yeah.
It was amazing.
You're
I
required
jumped
to
off
brag.
of
You'll lose
it's
willpower
like-
if you don't brag about
it was.
this.
This was like
The wad for today was we're in a mall.
in a mall. You go.
Getting
You go
shot at by
yeah.
the cops.
It was airsoft. It's fine, but I mean, it felt real.
Resolve and composure?
Plus, you don't have fortitude. Yeah.
No.
3 successes.
I'm not that kind of vampire.
Okay. Yeah. Quintus bites the bullet, sees him leap over the edge,
Okay.
and he got, what is that, 4, 5, 6 successes?
Fuck yeah.
Amazing. All right, give me that roll of stamina and athletics.
Now
That's going to be a bad.
that is going to be something else.
So I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that falling from that height would kill a person if they didn't land right. Right? Like a normal average human would probably die if they landed really poorly.
Badly injured.
Yeah, let's
Badly
check.
injured.
So what I'm thinking is that it would be an average human's got 5 health about probably. So I'm thinking it would be 5 damage minus your successes on this athletics and stamina roll.
Cool.
2 dice.
2 dice?
Your event it's still halved, so it's not. I mean,
yep.
it's not that bad.
Well, that's the full 5.
So Ryan, for you, that's 5 minus 3, so 2 halved to 1. But do you reduce that because of your fortitude?
I think I think toughness. I just gotta double check.
Yeah,
that.
you double check that.
Yeah.
You might take nothing.
I
One
think
or none.
toughness
Rounding
is a
up, I
rouse
take
check.
3.
Can I
take
argue
3.
that it should be 4 points of damage? Because I went to a call the other day, a guy fell 30 feet through the roof on
Yeah?
the concrete.
Okay.
And he didn't die. He
didn't
was
die.
in real bad shape.
My
Wasn't
argument
dead.
would be that he rolled athletics and stamina.
I don't know
No?
that he rolled.
Did he maybe roll bounce?
I'll call for.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
So that
take
makes
2.
2 for you and none for Ryan, even if you, regardless of how that works. Mary and Jackal follow suit. They jump after you. You guys do the superhero
Quintus lands
blade.
hard on his shoulder.
hard.
The rest
yeah,
of us do a blade landing. You land hard on your shoulder. Yeah.
hard on the yeah.
Quintus hits the fountain and then hits the floor on
Ethan
the way
actually
down.
like cracks the tile like on the ground when he hits. As Z just rips shots down the hall to offer some suppressing fire. Back to the construction site.
Larry looks over at Sean and Javi. And
You can see First Street from here. You point towards it. It's west of where you are. You got to cross that fence. You have to get past a couple police cars.
he swings his duffel bag and he kind of chitters down into it, and you see Johnny pop out. He's wearing his dungaree jacket,
Nice.
Love it.
and he says,
Wow.
"Follow Johnny. You won't see me. I'll be close, but we'll get to the same point." And he points out there.
Okay, let's go.
And Larry will rouse the blood for obfuscate.
For obfuscate. Okay, cool. That leaves. I was going to randomize who gets shot next, and that leaves just 2 options. So
I was going to say Javi is going to rouse the blood
Oh, you have
for.
obfuscate?
No, I have. I mean, I do, but it's
do.
only the first one.
Yep.
Doesn't. I just move quiet. I'm going to activate my toughness, and that's a fail on the rouse check. But I am going to sort of like use my body to cover Sean Clark and sort of like push him through. So if they're taking a shot, I'll take the hit.
I would randomize it, so I'll just put the hit on you.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Dio.
You take 5 damage, halved, which is 3, as a sniper round.
Is that superficial?
Yeah, that's why it's halved. Yep.
Okay.
Your fortitude, I think you take it before it's halved.
Yeah, so toughness is subtract fortitude of the defender from all superficial damage
nice.
sustained.
This
occurs before having the damage.
What's your fortitude?
It is 3.
Holy shit.
But
3.
also, I have Defy Bane, which I can activate reflexively. So that's wits plus...
You don't need to do that because it's not aggravated. It's not a Bane. It's just a regular shot.
Boom.
So 5 minus 3 halved is 1 damage. So
1 superficial or aggravated?
Superficial. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. As a sniper round goes straight through your body, but your useless organs don't really care. Also, remember, like, you guys, like, you can heal a point every turn by rousing the blood. I would suggest doing that because there's really no advantage in keeping the damage on your health track, unless you're like at a really high hunger.
Yeah, you should just rouse away.
Rouse
away.
Unless you're Quintus.
Cool.
And that doesn't count as an action. You can do that like in addition to
every turn. You can heal once, and that you're not limited to how many times you can rouse. So you could also rouse for an ability or to pump up your stats or whatever. But you can heal once a turn.
All right.
So that bullet goes through your body. Wouldn't have been a kill shot, but it definitely like punctured a lung or something, which doesn't matter. Clark kind of looks at you and gives a little nod, and he says, "Which way are we going?" And you see the possum running down the steps.
Follow the cutie.
Larry, is the plan to what's the route?
The route, we're going down the inside of the building, interior stairway, limiting like external shots. And Larry's trying to get ahead, obfuscated, so that if we see cops, he's going to try to distract them before the Ventru get there.
Okay.
So Larry, as he rushes off that way, Johnny knows the route, so he's going to rush ahead, and Larry's going to start to call out to the rats. I'm going to try to summon them into a swarm as he descends.
Okay.
Wish I had that werewolf blood still in me. That's not bad. 3 successes. So I will have to make an additional roll to after they're summoned. This is just like
it's based on whether or not they're like realistically in the area, right?
Right. And
there's
how many
definitely rats here. So you get a couple of them. They're very skittish because of all this action that's going on. There's a lot of noise now, and a couple of them kind of come out from the crevices of the stairwell that you're in, and then you hear a thunk. You see gas start to fill the building. Now, luckily, none of you really need to breathe, and tear gas isn't going to hurt you, but it still cuts down visibility pretty dramatically. Okay. And it still has a little, it irritates you a little bit. But the building starts filling with tear gas. Meanwhile, in the mall, Z, you see the same thing. You see a flash, and then this canister lands pretty close to you. Pretty skillful shot. And this gas starts pouring out. You look and you see that everyone has jumped over the railing and is on the ground level below.
Z just gives a couple shots in the air, not really add anything, and then he's gonna blink to the railing. And then can I make a plea for using fleetness to kind of parkour my way down each getting down to the next railing and the next railing after that?
I believe
and roll dex and athletics.
Fleetness. What does it do exactly?
It lets me add my celerity rating to like a non-combat dex.
I'll let you add your celerity to the stamina athletics roll.
Okay.
If you use fleetness.
Yep. So I have to rouse twice.
Why twice?
I'm using blink to not get shot at.
Oh, okay.
As I do it.
All right.
So it's 2 more hunger, so I'm at the 3 now.
Oof.
Okay.
Like it.
Hunger for fleetness or hunger for getting shot?
For healing. Yeah.
And then the roll.
What is your celerity?
3.
3.
You right now?
You guys have been secretly raising your combat stats after that fucking first light fight. You were like,
Goddamn right.
You're like, we better raise these.
Yeah.
Poppy got tough.
Yeah. I had Mijo was showing me how to do the CrossFit.
Yeah. all burpees all the time, Poppy.
Oh, hijo.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So that's all of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So you managed to pick your way down there, with so like incredible speed. You do hear a few gunshots, but they don't know where you are. They don't know what they're shooting at.
Yep.
The smoke is helping as well as it kind of fills this area.
You basically see him hanging on to like the second floor balcony and then jump off in front of you.
What are you guys doing on the first floor?
I'm looking to
Attempting to stand.
Yeah, to Marion. I'm like, well.
So you guys are looking
Garage?
for you're going towards the garage. Yep.
Yeah.
You see a sign.
I'm kind of,
parking, pointing one direction.
All right.
You see that hallway of the mall in that direction, filling with smoke and some rounds coming your way. What are you guys doing?
Quintus kind of slowly gets up before he starts jogging and then running towards the parking lot. He's kind of holding his shoulder, and he will rouse and try to heal.
Okay. So you guys are just running towards the parking garage? That's the plan?
For Quintus, yes.
Okay.
Ethan?
Yes.
Okay. There are shots coming your way.
Are they in front of us, but beyond the entrance to the parking garage?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to go through them to get to the parking garage. They're beyond you in both directions.
Gotcha.
So, John, you get down to that first level as they're getting to the parking garage door.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna if I can kind of figure if gunfire is coming from a particular direction, I'm gonna try to keep myself between Quintus and the
direction.
From the direction.
All right.
As best
Sure.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also shouting the Harvard fight song as we go.
So, tell you what, I was going to roll 4 dice for each of you, but I'm going to roll 6 for you and 2 for Quintus, plus the weapon damage.
Father like son.
Ethan, I rolled really well.
Okay.
We got some fucking snipers on that side. That's 7 damage. minus
Fucking
minus
brush
your
it off.
toughness, right?
Yep. So that is
2.
3 fortitude. Yeah, I have 3 fortitude. So
You have 3 fortitude, so that brings it down to 4.
Yep.
And then it's halved, so you take 2.
2.
That's like a shot that just fucking kills a person instantly.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
just fucking shrugs it.
Yeah.
Quintus,
Go away.
2 dice, 2 successes for 6.
Motherfucker. I just
No
take that, right?
fortitude.
There's no.
You just take
yeah.
that.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Mark off.
Cool.
Mark
1.
off 6 health bucks.
So
Sorry,
even
3
if I
health
fail to
bucks.
rouse, though, I do still get to heal,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Dan.
Cheese and rice.
Episode.
Welcome to the game.
You're
50.
not you're not dodging or anything because you don't have celerity to dodge guns. You're just running towards
Combat machine.
this door as these guns unload in your direction.
Did you cast a spell on him?
Jackal and Mary are at the door before the two of you. They're there incredibly quickly, and they kick the door open and make their way in. So the 4 of you are in. Z is still kind of out in the open. The room is starting to fill with smoke. Z, can you give me a roll of trying to think of I don't know if there'd really be a good skill for just give me resolve and stamina.
1.
1? Okay.
Yep.
This gas, if you were mortal, you'd probably be unconscious.
Yeah.
It's burning your eyes, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's making it really hard to see. Like, your eyes are like filling with blood, actually, because you don't have water.
Yeah.
And it's you can feel it kind of running down your face. So your vision is severely impaired. It's going to make shooting pretty hard. Meanwhile, Larry, why don't you give me that same roll, stamina and resolve? So you're going to take a 2 dice penalty on anything that requires seeing.
Okay.
We have a messy critical with 5.
Messy critical on the
That is
gas.
that is Larry's name. Yeah, Larry is the messy critical king.
Only 100 die too. It's a 10.
Any suggestions from the snack shack?
So Snack Shack.
I'm thinking for a messy critical, maybe this throw wasn't as skilled and the thrower is close by.
I like that. You get to the bottom of the stairs and a gas canister hits the wall, and you look and you see this guy there in his SWAT gear, and he goes, "What the fuck?"
Larry's unseen. I already
Correct. He is unseen.
Yes.
So the door swings open and
Okay.
no one's there, and this gas kind of hits you. Critical, so you're not going to. It doesn't actually affect you. But how do you deal? What do you think? How do you deal with this guy on a messy critical?
I think I had a plan in mind for the rats, but I literally like bust through this door and I land on the landing, and I'm gonna rouse the blood and body check this guy into the stairwell.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna use my potence.
Larry's in pest control, so
Make the rouse
Yeah.
check. So I add my potence to my strength.
Potent
Can
potables.
can I do the what do you call when you rouse the blood like for your physical stats?
Yes, blood surge. You can do that. So you rouse the
And-
blood. You add 2 dice to your dice pool.
Okay, so I can do that and
Yep.
activate my potence. All right.
Ruh-roh.
Another one.
Another
Messy critical with 1 hunger die.
Messy.
Again, 2
Six.
10s.
You
Successes.
push this guy down the stairwell into what should be the basement, and you hear a snap as he goes down, and then you hear a splash because the basement is flooded and filled with water, and he starts to sink in his body armor. Why don't you just mark a stain for me?
Yeah.
That's a messy critical right there.
Nice.
Larry
That's what
killed the
that
guy.
is.
About time.
Yeah.
You're on the ground level in the center of the building.
Monster.
Kind of full walls down here. They're complete. You can hear shouting. You can see the flashing blue light through the open windows.
I tell
And
the
you can
rat.
hear the helicopter blades.
I tell the rats that if they want to get out of the gas, get close to those other things.
That's good. That's good. Go ahead and roll, and I'll give you 3 extra dice for a good idea.
His name was
While you're
Andrew.
doing that,
He had 2 kids.
3 extra dice for a better chance at a messy critical
Javi,
again.
you give me that stamina and resolve roll for the gas.
He's just doing his
If
job.
you rouse the blood, you can add your fortitude.
His dad was a cop, and he just saw no other path. And I mean, he wanted it to be something else, but
third generation.
he was saving up for college.
Right out of Southie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
top,
right, that's
top
something.
of his class.
Only way he could make any money. So
Yeah.
Past the rouse check, how many could I add?
I mean, he wasn't a
Add your
Wahlberg or
fortitude.
anything, you
No,
know?
no.
Yeah.
Fortitude, word.
So stamina, resolve, fortitude.
From the diary of unnamed SWAT agent.
he was 2 weeks away from retirement.
Get too old for this shit.
As in every fucking game
Yeah.
and movie,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
picture of his son falls off.
Not a great roll, even with the extra dice. 2 successes.
Okay.
3 for Javi.
Javi, that's what you needed to avoid the gas, and they move that direction, but not with a lot of fervor.
Okay.
You got to get through some cops in order to get to that fence. They don't seem like they're moving.
I'm also going to rouse to heal my superficial.
So, Jake, by the way, quick note, I looked into a little bit more with Obfuscate. It doesn't automatically drop if you physically interact with somebody, but basically, unless they have you like pinned in a corner, any kind of physical or violent confrontation, they get a check
Okay.
to break it.
Cool. All right, so you guys are all at the bottom of the landing now. The gas is getting thicker. You hear shouting. You know you need to go through some cops and then over that fence before you can get to that sewer grate. Meanwhile, Z, you see the 4 of them push that bar on the door and go into the parking garage.
he says, well, fuck this.
There are guns on either side, lights
One more
pointing
time.
in every direction.
He is going to rouse the blood to blink into that doorwell.
Okay.
Let's hope I don't go to 4 hunger. Okay, good.
Now, blinking allows you to do a move like that and take an attack?
Yes.
Okay, so when you get there, when you blink there, you see that they pushed into that room, and there are 3 cops in that room. They are on foot. They're just kind of standing there about 15 feet from them, guns trained, and shouting. And what is everyone doing?
I just say, got the one on the right, and I'm going to bull rush him.
Okay. Dan?
Rolling for cover.
Okay. John?
Z trains his Scar on the one in the middle.
Okay. And Mary goes for the one on the left. Jackal stays back. Z, give me dexterity and firearms.
-2, right?
Yep. Ethan, give me brawl and
I'll
and strength.
Yeah, I will rouse 2
Okay.
bonus.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
I'm going to rouse to heal.
Make it.
John, you're doing a straight up. You guys are both doing straight up contested rolls.
Yep.
First one, John's.
6 with a messy.
Ooh. You beat him
2.
with an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You beat him by 5. He got 1.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a goner.
Ryan, what did you get?
I got 2.
I don't know the rules. I don't know what happens if you get the same. I don't know how that works. I haven't read the rule book.
The bullets collide in the air.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's rushing him and he's shooting him.
Yeah.
I don't damage.
Yeah, I don't grab him, but he also doesn't
I think
shoot
that's
me.
what happens.
Yeah.
I think you rush up on him so fast, he shoots to the side, totally misses, and you kind of get there, but he gets his gun out in front of you, fast enough to sort of make you hesitate. Forget for a moment that you're a vampire, that a bullet won't kill you. But you're right up in his personal space, but he does have his gun on you, so that's where we'll kind of leave that.
So Z, this guy's dead, right?
Yeah.
Z flashes into this like little hallway area that leads into the parking garage, sees these 3, sees Ethan head off to the right. He just wordlessly brings a rifle up to his shoulder and starts slowly walking at this guy in the middle, just laying into him 3-round bursts until the guy falls on the ground.
Mary looks over at you as she sweeps this guy's leg with her baseball bat, knocks him to the ground, and then just puts a foot on him so he can't move.
Yeah.
She's incredibly strong. And she just kind of gives you a look like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. We don't have fucking time.
Mark a stain?
Yep. That's 2 stains.
Ooh.
Hate humanity, huh?
Jackal.
That's not gonna happen. That's going down, baby.
It's okay. Javi owns a cleaning business, so we'll take
care of those guys.
Mary grabs the cop's pistol who's on the ground. Ethan, what do you do?
I'm gonna just look at this guy. I'm gonna look at the guy that's down on the ground. I'm gonna look over at Mary, and I'm gonna say, drop your gun and run.
Are you just kind of no power? Just
We have
oh yeah, I'm a vampire.
You are a venture.
I'm a vampire with
We got
dominate.
that. I can, but it's cloud memory. Like, do I tell him to forget this? Yeah. I don't have.
Yeah,
like
that
a-
might not be fitting.
No.
But you could just try to do an
I
intimidate
could
for
awe.
me.
I mean, yeah. That's
What is-
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just do an intimidate manipulation?
Yep. 3 successes.
He looks over at his dead companion and at Mary, who is afoot on his other friend, and then he actually tries to shoot her because he's not going to leave his his buddy behind.
I'm gonna then, if I can, I have rapid reflexes, so I'm gonna step in on that,
Okay,
and
Are
then
you
I'm gonna try. Yeah,
attacking.
yeah,
Okay,
yep. So
John?
I'm gonna try to get in between the shot and then
John?
attack him again.
Yeah. Is the limo there?
You do see it on the other end of the parking lot.
Quintus, get to the
Engine
limo.
running.
Quintus rolls out from behind a pillar and starts running for the limo.
Z turns around and closes the door behind. if there's like a locking mechanism, he's going to lock and latch it. Although she
Okay.
busted it open, right?
It's just like a push bar, like to get into the parking garage. Yeah.
He's going to try to lock that and then head towards the limo.
Okay. Ethan, go ahead and give me that roll.
By the way,
3 successes.
rules lawyer coming in.
Yes.
Sorry, Devin.
The
The acting, whoever is taking the action, declaring the action, if they equal the roll, they succeed.
that doesn't make any sense though, because contested actions are you're both declaring an action. That's like
I don't know. It says if the acting character rolled equal to or more than the number of successes rolled by the opposing character, the test is a win.
I think in that instance, it's the order of operations.
You're
he
right,
shoots
you're
him,
right. Yep.
which I forget if melee's first. So I think he would close the distance and he wouldn't be able to shoot.
You're
or
right.
he would
There
shoot
is an
melee.
order of operations, but I think that's just for like simple uncontested
Right.
rolls.
This is
Yeah.
a contest specifically.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, this resolves fine because he got 0 successes. So what do you do, Ethan?
I'm going to then, before he can shoot, I'm going to try to, or as he's shooting, I'm going to try to disarm him and then pistol whip him.
Okay. You manage to get the gun out of his hand. And then as you're struggling with him and you grab the gun out of his hand, Jackal grabs him and knocks him to the ground.
Stupid fucking move, bro.
And you see his fangs come out and he starts feeding on him.
That's why you can't.
Give me a perception and wits roll.
You can take the
Any
street
of
out of the
those
dog, but you can't take the dog out of the street. Is that right?
Quintus, you go for the limo?
No, the other way around.
Yeah. As I'm running towards it, I kind of hone my senses. Can I hear? Is there anyone inside the car?
Yes.
Wits and
Human?
awareness?
You're
Like
not
a
sure,
heartbeat?
but there's I don't think you can really use that to as a heartbeat sensor. But there are people in the car.
Vision
More than
wise. Okay.
Wits and awareness?
Wits and awareness.
Is that what you
Yep.
want me to roll?
Yep.
Yeah, 1.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
No.
All right. And Mary grabs you, says, "Let's go," and starts running towards the car at the construction site. What's the plan?
We are at the base of the stairwell looking out. There's a couple cop cars. You said there's some teams there.
Yep.
I look back. I see Johnny scampering down and Sean and Javi right behind. Larry's still on scene. He kicks the door open, so they see it like swing open in front of them, looking through like the open, empty window. And then Larry is going to use his soaring leap. And I can jump 10 meters, 33 feet.
Wire jump.
Wow.
So he's going to try to jump past the cops.
Okay.
Get behind them. He's still hoping the rats will get involved, but he's going to rouse. Why do I keep fucking up the term? What do you call when you
Surge.
pump? Surge. He's going to surge, grab one cop, and throw him into another one.
Okay.
Crouching Larry
So-
hitting Johnny.
That
I
was
hate you.
so. Josh,
Every round
I'm
is
gonna
Jack
have
Jam.
you. I'm gonna have you make a roll, but not necessarily to see how much damage you do. I kind of just want to see how effectively you make a hole for them.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do damage.
So we'll kind of use it as a sort of skill check to see if you can kind of make an opening for them to get through.
Okay.
So I'm thinking probably just brawl and strength.
Okay. No, zero brawl, but my strength is pumped by potence and the surge.
Yep. Meanwhile, what is Javi gonna do?
He is watching Sean Clark's back as they make their way out.
You see Larry leap over this wall, and
We don't see Larry, but
I see the door
sorry.
kick open and
hear
then
the
a
door-
puff of dust.
puff of dust.
man,
and-
obfuscate's not great for
I
cinematics.
know, it's not.
You see nothing.
3 successes, however, a 1 on the hunger die. So if he fails this, it will be a bestial fail if it's a
Okay.
contested roll.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't think of that. It's not. You didn't necessarily fail the roll, but if you fail it in
It
a
will be a
contest,
bestial fail.
Gotcha.
You did not fail. I only got 2 successes.
Okay. So not a great job, but you basically you see the door kick open, you see kind of brick dust kick up on the ground, the cops kind of pivoting around, and then maybe one cop gets knocked into the other one, and then they would get a opposed roll.
There are 3 cops in your way. They seem distracted. They're not sure what's going on. They're not pointing their guns at you at the moment, but they're not completely unaware of your presence. Still, you and Clark need to go through them and then over this chain link fence in order to get to safety. So what is your course of action?
Are all out of the 3 that we have to go through, are any of those the ones Larry took?
You can't really see him, and he's kind of like pushing them around. Like one of them kind of stumbles and you're not sure why. So they're all slightly distracted. Basically, I'm going to give them a penalty on any checks they make to oppose you.
Okay. I think Javi comes down the bottom of the stairs behind Sean Clark. Johnny's in front, and Javi's going to look Tio in the eyes and go, "Follow the possum. He's going to show you the way out. Don't worry. I got your back."
Jake?
And Javi is going to make a break first, out of the way, or before Sean Clark, and he's going to head towards those 3 cops that are sort of like getting distracted, and he's going to move to whichever one seems like less distracted that's watching the door, and try to actually catch that one's attention. I can use awe if need be, but I'm going to just walk out of the building and walk straight at this guy, and I'd like to try to mesmerize him.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So what's not cinematic is obfuscated Larry Murphy. What is cinematic is a slow motion Pedro Pascal striding out with
Gunshots around him.
gunshots around,
Smoke billowing out of the building.
Opossum sprinting, wearing a kinship denim sleeveless jacket with Idris Elba following.
I mean, it doesn't get more
Pumping
cinematic.
legs.
That's my question, Jake, to you. Did you ever think the words "follow that possum" would be such a critical part of your campaign?
Follow that.
I love it.
Episode name?
Give me a roll for mesmerize. This is opposed, I assume.
Yeah, so it is my manipulation domination versus his intelligence resolve. Ooh. Holy shit. That's going to be a messy critical with 5 successes.
Nice.
Jake's like, fuck,
Oh, the
man,
messy
all the
criticals.
work.
Yeah, they were a handful.
It puts a lot of work on the fucking storyteller.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of them are easy, right?
Some
Sometimes
are
it's
easy,
It's
and
like,
some of them
you
are
fucking
just
killed, dude.
because it's like on either side, it's like it's a mess critical, so
Here's
it's
what
a
happens.
very successful, but
Oh, maybe a little too
Here's what
successful.
happens. First, mark a stain for what's about to happen.
Oh. Is that
So
your-
basically, when you messy critical, it tells you, like,
Did you resolve
in
the first
general,
one?
the mechanical effect should be gain a stain, masquerade breach, lose advantage, or compulsion. So here's what happens. You mesmerize him. He just stares at you like you're some sort of angel. And then his buddy, the one that is not engaged by an invisible Nosferatu, lowers his weapon towards you to take a shot. And then this guy shoots his friend in the head.
I was going to say, Javi's
says, "Don't you
mesmerized
dare!"
was going to be protect us.
You kind of feel bad about that one.
Oh, I definitely feel bad about that one.
With that roll, you ruined 2 lives.
Well, and the families and the children.
Oh, yeah. Thousands of...
Javi will set up a scholarship fund in one of these kids' names. It'll be fine.
a lot of flags at half-staff tomorrow in Boston.
Clark makes it through without a problem. All 3 police officers have been distracted.
You call it
You see him...
a bullet in the brain is a pretty
You see him,
distracting.
you see him jump and start climbing the fence pretty quickly.
As far as anyone knows, your guy just fell in a stairwell, Josh. I mean,
yeah.
You also kind of have a clear path at this point to climb the fence as well after Clark.
Going for it.
All right. You're going to take one more shot from the helicopter, which is going to miss. Ooh. It's a pretty tough shot. Especially since you're moving.
Yeah. It's the verticality of that
And
fence.
Larry,
Larry's gonna try to give this guy a shove and then break for the fence, and
he actually, like, you give him a shove, and then he looks at his fellow officers horrified, confused by what just happened. He probably ruined his life too.
So extra sane, or
And then, are you going to leap the fence? Or?
I'm gonna leap.
Cool.
Johnny has some trouble getting his hindquarters through one of the holes in the chain link fence, but he eventually does it.
Maybe a little tear on the kinship jacket.
fix it.
Quintus, you're the first one to get into that limo. You get in the back.
I open the door.
You open the door, and you see Lydia sitting there.
I kind of glower at her
She smiles.
and sidle into one of the seats.
John, do you get in the front or the back?
Where's the sunroof?
In the back. Yeah.
I'll get in the back.
He's well versed in sunroof artillery.
Exactly.
Is there a driver?
Yeah. He's Lydia's ghoul. You guys have seen him around.
I'm gonna tell him to slide over.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, Trent, I got this.
He looks in the rear view to get the approval.
It's
from
Trevor, but
her.
thanks.
And he pushes over and gives you the seat. The doors close and you peel out from the mall. As you exit the parking garage, you see the lights of the garage, the shadows that they cast begin to bend and move and surround the car. And he leans over to you, the ghoul, and he says, "Turn off the headlights, please."
All right.
And you cruise out of the parking lot, and no one seems to notice you.
Hello, Lydia.
She's in another place at the moment. She's staring into space, and her eyes are black.
Fuck.
She blinks. Hello.
What are you doing here? I mean, I'm not ungrateful, but
Fiona isn't the only one with influence in the police department. I learned just in time about what was going to happen. Decided to come help. There's clearly more to that.
Yeah.
Since she could have called.
yeah.
Quintus is like holding his shoulder,
I mean,
and he's just kind of trying to read her.
She says, "Are you all right, Quintus?"
I will be okay.
I understand your condition requires you to drink vampire blood now.
That is correct.
May I offer? She holds out her wrist.
I would appreciate it.
You do, like, out of game, you know, like, every time you drink from another
Yep.
vampire, you get a one-step blood bond.
Yep, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
hungry little fella. Here you go.
Hey, Trent, how do we put the
She gives you two.
How do we put the security screen down? I want.
Still
Oh, it's down.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Now, the real question is, who the fuck told Fiona?
She has more spies than you're aware of.
Apparently.
And I would bet her powers of observation are significant.
I'm a little disappointed I wasn't invited to the meeting. This one or the other one. I understand your friends were meeting with the Primogen. I assume that's what the other SWAT team was for.
Yeah. Well, last time I left your residence, I was followed by Fiona's cops. Nearly crashed my bike on 495, but so I didn't really necessarily know where you stood.
This is going to put a strain on her control of the police, but that's good. I want in.
Well, it's not on me.
I kind of flash my eyes over to Ethan. What does this mean, Lydia? You want in?
I want what I should have gotten when we took this city. I want a seat at the table.
This is something that you know we cannot say yes or no to. We must bring it in front of the Primogen.
Z was right. I was watching. So invite me to your meeting.
Quintus kind of slowly nods his head, looking at Ethan, kind of shrugs.
The other two Bruja are just kind of watching. And Mary says, she's right. She should have been invited a long time ago. That's just another part of Fiona's charm. She'll take, but she never really seems to give much in return.
It is my understanding, Lydia, that you were once on the other side, no?
She nods.
Interesting.
I can help.
Jake, I'm going to do another rouse to try to heal.
And meanwhile, Javi, you splash down into the sewer, ruining your suit and your expensive leather shoes.
It's okay.
You hear the manhole cover drop with a heavy thud, and then Larry appears as he drops down to the ground. He's dirty and ragged and kind of covered in, some detritus from the construction site, but otherwise looks unharmed.
Clark says, "Damn, boys, that was good." Oh,
Could have been a little cleaner, though.
Good job, Johnny. Come here, buddy.
See, he did a good job getting us out, but this is going to be problematic, huh?
Larry kind of closes his eyes for a second and shakes it. He says,
We were put in a tough situation. Fiona either has even more eyes than we thought, or ears where we didn't think she would have them.
We should have known. But that makes the meeting tomorrow is going to be
dangerous.
Even more dangerous. See, yeah.
This is a problem. We can't get every kindred in the city together. We have to now, but it's going to be damn dangerous. We need to do it somewhere safe, somewhere quiet.
Nobody tells Z to let a fucking Zoom meeting go.
I just picture all these vampires in a fucking Zoom meeting.
You're muted.
You couldn't come.
You're muted.
Everyone, please,
Blank on the screen.
Please turn your mute on.
I'm
Everyone.
not a cat.
But if anything, this proves this is even more important. Now she's given us a reason. She must be losing it. She must be slipping.
So even less than 2 days, huh?
She's got to be going crazy, to be honest with you.
She's starving to death. I know you know that feeling.
She must think that we're out to get her. Well, I mean, she's right.
See?
So how do we get downtown?
Follow me. No. Follow Johnny. He knows a shortcut. And I have an idea for the meeting tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome.
You split off and you go somewhere? Do we need to do that on screen right now or no? Okay. And you go with Johnny and Clark. We have two heartthrob celebrities and a possum wandering through there.
So 3 heartthrobs.
Yeah.
And as you get to where Johnny kind of brings you after quite a walk, as you're walking, actually, Clark says, "You're pretty chummy with Leonidas, huh? You really believe in this whole Golconda thing?"
It's an interesting concept, no?
It's a story. Vampires able to drink blood, like what, once a month they say, able to walk in the sunlight.
Do you remember what it feels like?
No.
The sunshine?
No, I don't.
Sometimes when I close my eyes, I can feel it.
That kind of hope can be dangerous. Hope for things that can't be. You got to concentrate on what you can get, not on fairy tales.
See, yeah, you're right.
Leonidas is a problem. When this is over, when Fiona's gone, and we have a cure, you know Quintus is going to give it to him. And if that happens, all the millions, all the resources we've invested into this become nothing. He gives it away. What are we left with?
Useless.
Well, I guess this is my stop. We'll talk again soon.
Okay.
He starts climbing a ladder to the surface, and then Johnny brings you to the basement of Kin.
Hey, Johnny. Must be so easy to be you, huh? Fuck. See, is that Fatberg?
I think
that's delicious.
I think that's where we'll end it. I like that. I like that.
I love
one.
it. Heart to heart with a possum.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Boston Masquerade on the Nastagram RPG podcast. Now we'd love to hear more from you. Find and follow us online. We are at Nastagram RPG on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Nastagram, or the Nastagram RPG Lounge for our community on Facebook, r/Nastagram on Reddit, and at Nastagram 2053 on YouTube. Or just go to the website, NastagramRPG.com, and you can link out to all those sites there. If you don't mess around with any of that social media bullshit, good on you. We'd still love to hear from you. Email us at nastagrampod@gmail.com. And finally, no matter what, we would beg, implore, and plead you to rate and review us, preferably at Apple Podcasts or whatever it is they call iTunes these days. And also just talk about us. Talk about us with your friends, anybody that you think would appreciate tabletop RPGs, or just telling good stories. Thanks again, and we will see you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.
One more scene, Dan, before anyone comes in the room. When you eventually get back to Kin, make your way to where you spend the night. Exhausted, feeling a little less hungry, but still just thinking about everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to sleep for the night. The next evening, when you awake, you are not where you went to bed. You are outside of the plexiglass enclosure where Sergei is kept. But inside there is no Sergei. There are just his remains. And it all comes back to you. You remember the entire day that Theodora spent in your body.
Oh, man. Well.
Larry kind of fucker.